Because otherwise I know a lot of people on all that I won't do it anymore. So I'm not scared to get kids. I mean, I was literally oh my god.
Do you want me or do you want
Wow. We don't have a beer.
Okay. Weird, you want to tell Sonata that like if she needs anything, she can see where the back table. If she needs anything. Okay, I'll see. Yeah, I was just thinking that. Otherwise she might be a little orphan there.
Yeah. I think we're at the same place right now. Okay. Oh my god, I am like a mess. This is not happening. You made it. Have a chocolate. Oh, there's my tea. Oh, did it? Oh, good. Martine can sit next to her. Oh my god. That one is. Are these live now too? Oh yeah, meetings. So yeah, I guess so.
Yeah, just so you know, for someone, if there's someone on Zoom, they can probably hear even though.
Welcome.
Weird disembodied voice will show up on Zoom.
We're about like 5 feet.
At this point, people don't know the drill. No, I can pick up.
Do I have to take
No.
Yeah, kind of like 40. Okay.
All you'll need to do is introduce is go vote, go step away, camera drop and step away, and then you'll say, we have the new council members, come on up, you can invite them up, and then say, now we...
Well, it's a special occasion. We're on one. Are you feeling Josh?
Pretty good. Hi. Where am I?
You're right here.
Right here. Okay.
There's garbage. I thought
Pretty good. I recognize you.
I know, it was so funny. My neighbors that I was with were like, all I'm have to do for like...
Oh, yeah.
They're like,
We're knowledge. We didn't make you a mayor's because we just thought that would look like I don't know how to like we're somehow in cahoots on it.
Yeah, okay, cool. But just I'm not like... Oh, and then did we find anything else? Yeah.
There you go. Well, the way I say it.
They would prefer an election?
Rule out limits and have to do it tonight. We can.
The microphone should be on.
Throw your hand. Whatever it is. What's your I got no clue.
Jamie. And go. Got it. No backup.
But it used to be easy. You just fill out a piece of paper and you handed it in. Oh, now it's so easy.
Last one is around.
I gotta go.
Terry, you're ready for your new role. We can all come around, please. Okay. Do you have Juliet? Can I let my friend read? Also read. You guys see my daughter? They're adorable. Her.
Oh.
Am I tangled? Am I not tangled? No, okay, it's flat. It's flat.
Yes, yes.
That's what I want. Now, can we stop?
I'm going to ask if
I know.
Councilmember Bertrand could join us at the dais so we can start the meeting.
Yeah, okay.
Good evening, everyone. Welcome to this December 8th meeting of the Capitola City Council. I want to welcome everyone who's here in the audience, staff this evening, and as well everyone who may be tuning in on the Zoom platform. May we start with a roll call, please?
Councilmember Brown.
Present?
Vice Mayor Piker. Here. Mayor Suarez.
Here.
Councilmember Brooks.
Here.
And Councilmember Bertrand.
Present. Well, everybody, please join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you for that. You know, I've said that Pledge of Allegiance dozens, probably hundreds of times in this setting, and it is particularly poignant for me because it's, you know, maybe one of the last times that I will say it in these chambers. So thank you for sharing that with me. Next, maybe we have any additions or deletions to this evening's agenda?
Staff has no changes to the agenda this evening.
Thank you. Any additional materials?
Staff did provide an updated resolution for item 4C, which is the election certification. The resolution was only modified to include the county certified results of election. Item 8B was also updated to include any applicants for the planning commission that submitted applications up until today's date. Both of those items are available online to the public and at our Bill 100 website.
Thank you. Next, we'll move on to item 4, which is the election business for this evening. And the first item A is to consider and approve the City Council meeting minutes from May 19th, 2022, special meeting September 8th, 2022, special meeting, and November 22nd, 2022, regular meeting. The recommended action is to approve those minutes. Is there a motion by council to move this item?
So moved.
Second. There's a motion and a second. Can we have a roll call vote, please?
Councilmember Brown?
Thank you, City Attorney, for that. So before we go on with the vote, I'll ask if there's any members of the public that would like to address this item. Seeing none, I'll ask the City Clerk, is there anyone on Zoom that would like to address this item?
I do not see any answers.
All right, thank you. Next, we'll move on to,
You can't
Thank
get
you.
out of here that quickly.
I know.
Let's just be honest here. Slow down.
Yeah, yes, thank you for that. Maybe I'm trying to rush this a little bit too much. So, can we have a roll call vote, please?
Councilmember Brown?
Aye.
Councilmember Brooks?
Aye.
Councilmember Bertrand?
I approve.
Vice Mayor Freilich?
Aye.
And Mayor Dorn.
Aye, the motion passes unanimously, which will now bring us to item 4B, which is the presentations of certificates of appreciation to outgoing council members and outgoing council member comments. And so, well, if, maybe I'm going to ask if Jacques will meet me right in front of the dais here. Well, this evening, I have maybe I won't call it the pleasure, but the honor of recognizing and acknowledging Councilmember Bertrand for his years on the City Council, 2 terms, 8 years. Just reflecting of that, I do want to take a little bit of credit for Jacques being on the City Council, because he was my appointment when I was first elected back in 2006 to be on the Finance Advisory Committee. And since then, he has been a strong advocate and a servant for the community, representing them first on the Finance Advisory Committee, later several campaigns for Capitola City Council, and then finally being elected to the Capitola City Council 8 years ago. But under, Capitola ordinance, we're limited to 2 terms, and so Jacques now needs to set aside for at least 2 years. And so, and maybe he will be back after that period of time. But in recognition of Jacques' service to the city of Capitola, and also serving as mayor in the year 2018, 2019, and a city council member from 2014 to 2022, and also served as the Capitola treasurer back when we used to have a treasurer from 2008 to 2012. So, in recognition, Jacques, I want to hand you this plaque. Thank you. And also, the certificate of appreciation is awarded to Jacques Bertrand in appreciation for his outstanding commitment and lasting contribution to the city of Capitola. Thank you. There you are, John. I want to go back for one last comment. I've always admired Jacques' ability for the gift of gab. And something that I don't know that I've ever really possessed that skill or talent. But maybe we'll hear a few words from him now as he is exiting. Go ahead, Jacques.
Oh, boy. We were talking beforehand. We don't know what to say. So he's putting me on the spot. This is not fair. This is really not fair. So I thought about it.
Jacques?
Jacques, you should.
The microphone.
I have to have
Okay.
a microphone?
Yeah.
So the public on Zoom can hear you.
Make it official.
Okay.
Don't want anyone to miss your last word.
I thought about it on the way down here. I shake. So that's why I'm thinking. I still don't know what to say. It's the truth. I don't know what to say. This is sort of like when you're dying. Your whole life flashes before you, and you're thinking about all the things that you did. City treasurer is actually 2 terms of city treasurer, not 1. And what you did as city council person. Which were the ones that had the greatest impact? Which were the ones that made you feel the proudest? What were the lessons that you learned about yourself, the lessons about the city? So to make it short, I do want to make this short. Think about what society is right now. We're on our Twitter, we're on our finger exercise machines, we're in front of TV, we're not talking to people. So one of the things that I really appreciated about working here, moving to Capitola, almost did it because the first time I came here was at a technical parking. This is a common experience in Capitola. But I think it has an effect because people's skills keep coming back. So what did I learn? When I reflect on our society right now, I think I knock on doors. One thing that I should take away, everywhere I walk in Capitola, I remember knocking on that door. I remember the dogs I petted. I remember people telling me their stories. I remember people talking to me about what they liked about Capitola, what they didn't like about Capitola, the improvements that they wanted me to work on. The main thing I take away from this right now is in opposition to the fact that maybe a lot of us feel separate from our neighbors. In a way, we feel separate from the people around us that are in our community. Capitola is not that place. Because in my experience, I know it's not that place. I know the people who work, volunteer on all the different committees over the years that have made the different festivals that we have, that make this city the place that people come and visit. It's a special place. People want to come here because they feel Capitola is because of the people here, because of I learned that because I live here, I knock on doors, I talk to people. I consider it a wonderful gift to me. Thank you.
Sam, do you want to meet me up there now?
I'd be happy to.
Okay.
Julia?
Yeah. I'm gonna give this one to her actually. Start.
Thank you.
Okay. So I actually typed something because I wasn't gonna be able to follow these guys without having something in front of me. Sam, welcome up here as this road comes to a closure for you. Mayor Sam Story has been a Capitola staple for me as long as I can remember. Maybe Helen, and you remember I was your neighbor, and I remember thinking it was the coolest thing that the neighbor was the mayor. And I just know that you've been a part of the city and the council for a long time. He's actually served for 12 years altogether, 3 of which he was the mayor, and that's a huge accomplishment. First, you were elected in 2006, then again in 2010, took some time off, worked with the Capitola Planning Commission, and I know that's not an easy job either. Then you came back to council in 2018, which brings us here, and I find myself really lucky to be a part of this term. You've also represented the city on the RTC, the Air Board, Cultural Council, Children's Network, Library, Joint Powers Board, the city's Art and Cultural Commission. You have an extensive resume. Needless to say, your dedication to our special city is a testament to the wonderful person that you are. With your term coming to an end, I know that you will be missed by all, but I look forward to working with you in the future. Good luck on your next chapter. It's been an honor to serve by your side for Capitola. I also have a little something from the city with the help of Helen, from the Capitola Plein Air, one of the winners.
Oh, my word.
If you want to take that with it, and also a certification.
Oh, this was the actual winning portrait from the plein air that just happened a little while ago. You know, I was there at the exhibit, and I was admiring this painting so much. And I was thinking at the time, God, it wasn't the greatest thing. Gave this to me. And you know, this long, you reading it?
Yep.
Thank you.
Congratulations.
Thank you,
Yes,
Margot,
you're welcome.
and all council members and staff for making this happen. And so,
I'm sure you have something to say.
yes, I do have something to say. I'm going to go back to my seat though, because this was my last chance to sit there and pontificate. But thank you for this. Well, I want to start out by saying and acknowledging, you know, change is hard, but it's the only way that we can actually personally and collectively, I think, develop and grow. So, you know, that's why, you know, we have these term limits and these cycling of, you know, council members and new council members. But after you know, many years of serving on the city council, and as Margot mentioned, you know, in all the other capacities that I've had the opportunity to serve, I just want to say it's been a great honor and a privilege for me. You know, and looking back over the years, you know, there are times it's been very challenging issues and difficult decisions that I've had to make, but I'd have to also acknowledge that it's always been very meaningful and rewarding work and educational for me. And I'm just so grateful for the opportunity to have been able to be allowed to serve in this capacity. So I want to also congratulate the new electeds, Alexander and Joe. I think that's tremendous that you chose to step up and were able to convince the community to elect you. So congratulations on that. But I also want to acknowledge Jerry and Enrique, who also participated in the campaign. And even though they didn't prevail this time, I hope they'll run again, because it's important that we have members of the community step forward and be willing to put themselves out there and to share their ideals and their hopes, you know, with the community, and have that citizen-based governance that is really the bedrock of our democracy. And so their role in that was as important as the winners in this. And so I want to, thank them, congratulate them, and as I said, I hope they run again in 2 years. Obviously, I couldn't spend this amount of, spend this time and have this opportunity if it weren't for the support of my family. So I want to principally acknowledge and recognize Helen, my wife, for her assistance. My daughters, Jessie and Jennifer, who are here this evening, and thank you for coming. And I also want to thank my youngest daughter, Ruby, who could not be here because she's in college at this time. Hopefully, she may be listening in on Zoom. Are you out there, Ruby? And so I got a thumbs up on that. I just want to thank all of you for your support and encouragement and patience over the years, for all your, willingness to have so many pictures taken, and for working on my campaigns, and for walking the neighborhoods, and for that I am very grateful. I also want to thank all my supporters, donors, and endorsers throughout the years. There are great numbers of them, and I would not have been able to achieve this without their assistance. And I want to thank all the residents who cast their votes for me. I think our votes are one of the most precious things that we have, and that they should not be given away freely. You should expect people to earn them. And I appreciate those voters in Capitola who did cast their votes for me. And I also want to thank all the staff of the city of Capitola, because, and council members are only as good or as bad as the staff that work with them. And we have a tremendous staff here in Capitola. And I want to acknowledge them and to thank them, and starting with and Steve Jesberg. I worked with Steve Jesberg for all this time, and he just recently retired from the Public Works Department. And his replacement is Jessica Kahn. So I want to thank their leadership and all the Public Works staff for the daily things that you do to maintain our streets, to maintain our facilities and our parks, and all the other special projects that you do. And I want to particularly highlight the construction of the new Capitola Library. I think that is an example of just a wonderful project carried out by the staff under trying and difficult circumstances, and bringing it to fruition. It's a beautiful structure, and I know that the work that they continue to do is going to just bring so much pride to that part of the city of Capitola. And Jessica, I just want you to know that I've received appreciation from residents about the work that's now going on in Clare Street, and so you should be proud for that. And so I want to, thank you for your management of all these, and projects that are important to the city. Next, I want to acknowledge Katie Hurley and all the staff of the Community Development Department. Those they take on the tasks and accomplishments of making sure that all of our structures and facilities and housing and development are done in an appropriate way. And it probably has the most impacts on us because we visually live it and we see it from day to day in how our infrastructure is developed. And I would have to say that they have one of the most technically and detail-oriented jobs, and there's so many projects that they handle, both small residential projects to very big commercial projects. And I want to also acknowledge, the work that they did on developing our new zoning code in our last term and finally bringing that to approval and getting that approved by the Coastal Commission. And all of that is very essential to really defining the aesthetic of our community. And then I also want to thank and Jim Malberg and finance and the finance department and all the staff that work there for maintaining our finances and consistently, winning awards for municipal financial reporting and auditing. Your budget work has always had a high degree of confidence and assured us of where we stood financially. And that takes a lot of attention to detail in managing the day-to-day activities of transactions. And I know this was particularly difficult during the pandemic. So, thank you for the work that you've done. And I just want to say I've never realized that tax collection could become so intriguing and dramatic. I think that's one of the more eventful things that has happened recently involved the finance department, but in a good way for us. So thank you, Jim. Also, I want to acknowledge Nikki Bryant LeBlond and the Recreational Department. When she first started, she has so much developed our Recreational Department and has presented an active calendar of events and classes, food trucks at our parks. And she's, I like to think, Nikki, that you kept the fun in Capitola. And also acknowledging your work during the pandemic of keeping many of these programs ongoing, your partnerships with the school districts to develop after-school classes in partnership with the school district. And I know that was a lifesaver for many Capitola children and families. And I want to acknowledge Councilmember Brooks' role in that effort as well. She was a leader in bringing that to the community. And finally, Nikki, also I want to thank you for taking over the leadership of the Capitola Arts Commission, and I think that is a good move to have that be a part of now Parks and Recs. I also want to acknowledge Chief Daly and all the members of the Capitola Police Department. We couldn't do all that we do if we didn't have Captain Daly and the police officers and the staff of the police department, doing their daily work at personal risk to themselves, to keep us safe and civilized. And I just want to extend my greatest, both as a resident and a council member, gratitude for, the work that you have done and that you do on a daily basis. And I just want to say that the members of our police department deserve the community's unfettered support and recognition and gratitude for their ongoing work on our behalf. I wanted to thank our former city clerk, Chloe Woodmansey, and all the other administrative staff for the work that you do to maintain accessibility, keep our records, and maintain public relations with the community. Your work with the city newsletter and the website has been tremendous and is well received. I've been impressed by that. Thank you over the years for your assistance to the council. Congratulations on your promotion. to the assistant city manager, and Julia, I also want to welcome you as the new city clerk, and I think the council's going to be well served from your efforts. I also want to acknowledge our city attorneys, Samantha Sutler, and all the staff at Burke, Williams, and Sorensen. Thank you for your steady legal advice and being available to us to answer legal questions whenever they come up. We knew that we can always call her if we had a sticky legal issue and could get prompt response. That is so important because having competent legal counsel is important to have a well-run city. And just to acknowledge the many areas in which you have navigated us through many, legal issues and scenarios to a successful conclusion. So thank you, Sam. And finally, not finally, but I want to separately, I acknowledge Jamie Goldstein, city manager. All these other departments that I just mentioned and the complexities within them, Jamie runs them all. He oversees them all, and he does it with a great deal of skill, composure, and professionalism. And I think we're very fortunate to have somebody of Jamie's talent and dedication in that position. Not only managing all the staff, but he's managing the city council, and he's coordinating and developing our relationships with all the other jurisdictions, all the other committees, commissions, bodies, and agencies. And if it sounds like a lot, it is. It is a lot. And the numbers of them and the complexities of the things that he has to deal with on a daily basis, and to try to anticipate and plan for. At times, even for me, it can seem mind-boggling. So, I always felt like, Jamie, sometimes you're like playing four-dimensional chess in just managing everything that it takes to run a city and to run it well. And you do that. And so I want to thank you for your years of assistance for me, our working relationships, and I would say it's always been pleasurable, and at times it's even been fun. So thank you for that. I also want to acknowledge my fellow council members here. It's been wonderful to work with you over the last 4 years. I want to thank you for your support of me as mayor in this past year. And I know that you have a lot of challenges coming up before you, but I leave being confident that you have, I think, the working relationships and the skills, the commitment, and I think the caring compassion to handle things in the appropriate way. So, thank you. And in closing, I think I just want to acknowledge, I first came to Capitola in 1979, and it was rather serendipitously. I just happened to luck out and ended up with one of my first jobs out of law school in Capitola. And when I first came here, I could not believe it. It was like, I don't know if any of you have ever experienced love at first sight, but that was the experience that I have in first seeing Capitola. And the first, significant image I have is looking out over the bay and looking down into the village. It's kind of a Mediterranean setting. And every time I see it, I reflect back on that. But, I fell in love with, the village, the beautiful setting of the Monterey Bay, the vibrant, business that we have in Capitola, the Capitola history, and the people that live here. And even though we're small, you know, the diverse neighborhoods that we have in Capitola, from the Jewel Box to the Avenues to Depot Hill, all the mobile home parks, there seems to be something, a little bit of something for everyone. When I first ran for city council, I did it with the goal of trying to preserve the best qualities of Capitola as we were confronting and adapting to changing forces that are coming upon us. I hope that in some small measure I have helped accomplish that goal. And in closing, I'll just say, you know, thank you for the opportunity, and I look forward to watching the new council as it moves forward. Thank you, everyone.
Mary, I think you have one more item.
One more item.
More?
Right out of here.
Oh,
This isn't it.
oh,
One more.
Find your lunch. No?
you lose your edge when you have one foot out the door.
Everyone has a public comment.
My last official order of business is to request a resolution confirming and approving the canvass of returns and results of the general municipal election. Is there a motion?
Can we go to public comment?
Public comment now? Well, I've been told I need to go to public comment. So is there anyone in the audience that would like to address the public on this item? Yes, step up. Yes, step up, Jesse.
Hi. Thank you, council. I just wanted to, take a quick moment to acknowledge my dad. I didn't go tonight, but I had the privilege of growing up in Capitola. I just live right outside the city limits, but Capitola will always be my home. And that's thanks to my parents. I had the privilege of doing junior lifeguards here in Capitola, as well as my first real job was at the Bayshore Lyric Opera, which we used to go to movies at the movie theater when it was still there. So I have such fond memories of Capitola, always will. And it's been just so proud of you to see you in the role here and continuing to take care of the city. So thank you, Dad. We're very proud of you.
Thank you.
I wasn't actually going to say anything, but I'm Jennifer Walker. I'm also one of Sam's daughters. And growing up in Capitola, again, was a great privilege, and seeing people that I know and work with coming up on almost 40 years, which is kind of creepy. I'll say that having Sam as a council person and mayor was really special to say, hey, yeah, I know that guy, he's my dad. Oh, wow, Sam's really great, wow, So there's been a lot of people that you have affected and helped, and I've seen you grow along the way and become such an even more eloquent speaker, very gracious, and it's very exciting to see you gave back to the community. So I'll say that, like Jesse, I'm very proud, and I got a small glimpse of what it takes to run a campaign, being a treasurer for 1 year, and then I said, that's too hard. So running for government and serving in government is challenging, especially in these times, and so I think it's a great service that you've done, and we are very proud of you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Congratulations. I'm Helen and Sam's wife, and I just want to say how proud I am of you and your service to the community. You know, since 2006, and we're just reflecting on how in the first campaign, you know, Ruby was 18 months, you know, a year and a half, and we were out, you know, knocking on doors and talking to community members and seeing what their concerns were, and, you know, just think that it was a logical thing for you to do, to run, you know, and represent the city as a city council member, and because your heart is here. As you said, you fell in love with Capitol, and I know that you did, and it's an enduring love. And so I really appreciate, you know, all of the hard work that you put into representing the city. And I know the many meetings, the many issues and, you know, solutions, right? Working at trying to make solutions that benefit people in this community. And so I really want to thank you for your efforts around that, you know, as a resident, as your wife, being along in that journey to make this community the lovely place it is, and working with everyone else to make that happen. So just want to say congratulations, thank you, and I'm really, really proud of you. And I know that Ruby is watching virtually and is proud of you as well, and I'm so happy to be here with the family to, you know, thank and congratulate you on your service.
Thank you. Anyone else have any kind words? I'm loving this. Well, seeing none, is there anyone on Zoom, Julia?
There are no hands raised on Zoom.
Okay, thank you. I guess we'll get back to the current business at hand, which is a resolution confirming and approving the canvass of returns and results of the general municipal election. The recommended action is to adopt the proposed resolution confirming election results. Is there a motion?
Motion. And I'll second.
It's a motion by Vice Mayor Kaiser, seconded by Councilmember Brooks. May we have a roll call vote, please?
Councilmember Brown?
Aye.
Councilmember Brooks?
Aye.
Councilmember Bertrand?
I approve.
Vice Mayor Kaiser?
Aye.
And Mayor Torres?
Aye.
All right.
So is my okay. I worked my way out of a job. Thank you, everyone.
All that. All right. Well, that's going to take us down to item 4D, where we have the oath of office ceremony for the newly elected candidates and the re-elected candidates of the Capitola City Council. Our recommended action is to administer the oath of office and receive comments from new council members.
If we could have the newly elected council members join us up at the dais, and our re-elected council members stand up at the dais. We're going to be following the ballot order, so Councilmember Brooks will actually be the first person to be sworn in, and she's getting sworn in by her friend and colleague in local government, Martin McLean. I'll be swearing Councilmember Brooks. So, you know, so if you would please say aye and state your name and raise your right hand.
I, Yvette Brooks,
Do solemnly swear or affirm
do solemnly swear and affirm
that I will support and defend the Constitution of the United States
that I will support and defend the Constitution
and the Constitution of the State of California
and the Constitution
California,
against all enemies, foreign and domestic,
against all enemies, foreign and domestic,
that I will bear true faith and allegiance
that I will bear true faith and allegiance
to the Constitution of the United States
to the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of California,
and the Constitution of California,
and that I take this obligation freely
and that I take this obligation freely
without any mental reservation or purpose of evasion,
without any
mental reservation or purpose of evasion,
without any mental reservation or purpose of evasion,
and that I will well and faithfully
that I will well and faithfully
discharge the duties upon which I am about to enter.
discharge the duties that I'm about to. Thank you so much.
So next, we would like to council members to be Alexander Peterson. You would mind just raising your right hand and repeating after me. The first part is going to be I, and then you're going to state your name.
I, Alexander Peterson.
I'll have you do that.
I, Alexander Peterson,
Do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support and defend
I will support and defend
the Constitution of the United States
the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of California
and the Constitution of the State of California
against all enemies, foreign and domestic,
against all enemies, foreign and domestic,
that I will bear true faith and allegiance
that I will bear true faith and allegiance
to the Constitution of the United States
to the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of California,
and the Constitution of the State of California,
that I take obligation freely
that I take this obligation freely
without any mental reservation or purpose of evasion,
without any mental reservation or purpose of evasion,
and that I will well and faithfully
and that I will well and faithfully
discharge the duties upon which I'm about to enter.
discharge the duties upon which I am about to enter.
Congratulations.
I would like to council member Joe Clark.
So if you could just raise your right hand and repeat after me, and the first part is going to be I, and you'll state your name.
I, Joe Clark,
Do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support and defend
that I will support and defend
the Constitution of the United States
the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of California
and the Constitution of the State of California
against all enemies,
against all enemies,
foreign and domestic,
foreign and domestic,
that I will bear true faith and allegiance
that I will bear true faith and allegiance
to the Constitution of the United States
to the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of California,
and the Constitution of the State of California,
that I take this obligation freely
that I take this obligation freely
without any mental reservation or purpose of evasion,
without any mental reservation or purpose,
that I will well and faithfully
that I will and faithfully
discharge the duties upon which I'm about to enter.
discharge the duties that I'm about to enter.
Congratulations.
I guess the council members need to sign, and then they can take their seats.
You just sign there. Okay. And have you sign it right here. Let me grab you a pen.
Thanks so much.
Thank you. Yeah, okay, I'm gonna
Sure,
hold it.
absolutely.
And for a moment. And then, if you'd like to make any comments while you're standing. Okay.
Yeah.
I'll take it.
Oh, yeah, you're cool. Wow, I like it, yeah.
Welcome, gentlemen.
Thank you.
Want to do some comments? Yeah, are you guys wanna?
Sure, I'd love to go first since I was last. Well, it's great to see everybody here. I'm really excited. So honored and humbled to have been elected by the good people of the city of Capitola. My family and I have spent endless nights and days working on this and coming to this moment. I would really like to thank all the candidates who poured everything they had into this crazy close race. I mean, it was pretty crazy, pretty close. Looking at Jock and Sam leaving, boy, we have some huge shoes to fill. But I would really like to thank Councilman Bertrand, Mayor Storrs, for their outstanding leadership and their tireless work for our city. Outstanding job. But now, I look forward to what lies ahead, and can't wait to get to work with all these great people. Thank you all.
Just wanted to say thank you to my family, my friends. Oh, I get a little worked up with my daughter there. Congratulations. I'm just honored. Thanks.
I'd like to thank everybody here today and everybody watching online. I'm really honored to be here tonight and to have the opportunity to serve this amazing community over the next 4 years. I'd like to thank my family and my partner for always being there throughout the ups and downs of this new journey into public service. And I'd like to thank all the people who supported me during these past few months. I wouldn't be here if it weren't for their incredible generosity and encouragement. I'm really looking forward to working with everybody in our community, with our great staff, and with the rest of the City Council. I'm excited to build strong working relationships with our community members, find common ground in complex situations, and work together to promote the welfare of our community. I'd also like to take this opportunity to encourage all Capitola residents to feel free to reach out to me directly for any reason, and that I'm always happy to listen and to learn. And finally, I'd like to thank Sam Story and Jacques Bertrand for setting the bar so high and for your many years of service. Like Joe said, you have left some very big shoes to fill, and I hope that you'll stay involved and allow us to lean on your many years of experience. Thank you.
So we can move on to item 4E, which will be the City Council reorganization for 2023. The recommended action is to have City Council members nominate and elect a new mayor and vice mayor. Do we have anybody ready to make a motion for mayor and vice mayor? Oh, we do need public comment on this one. Anybody in the public would like to speak on this item? Anybody online?
There are no hands raised on Zoom.
Thank you. Any comments from council? Great. I'll go ahead and make a motion to elect our new mayor, Margot Kaiser, and our vice mayor as Kristen Peterson. And now that I have myself a little bit more put together after that, there's a new picture.
Probably why.
That's my motion, part of me. Vice Mayor Augustin Brown. And now that I have myself a little bit more put together, I want to say thank you so much and congratulations to our incoming council members and Councilmember Bertrand and Mayor Story. It has truly been an honor, and you have paved the way for all of us to continue your legacy and the hard work in our community. And these two fabulous women up here will continue to do that work, I'm sure, as well as myself, and I'm full of gratitude for that. So, again, congratulations, and I'm really happy to be making this motion this evening. Oh.
I'd like to make my first second.
Yeah, great. All right, we have a first and a second for the nomination of the new mayor and vice mayor. May we have a roll call?
Councilmember Brown,
Aye.
Councilmember Peterson,
I approve.
Councilmember Brooks,
Aye.
Councilmember Clark,
Aye.
and Vice Mayor Geiger.
Aye. That passes unanimously, so now we will actively reorganize our chairs, I think, up here.
Short, but sweet.
Yeah, so I guess I'll move to the center, and then, I guess,
Where do I go?
musical chairs. We'll just streamline. Mayor Kaiser, do you want to assign seats, or are you good with? No. Okay, do I need, the mayor's prerogative.
The only chairs that are determined are gonna be the two central ones right here.
Okay, this works for me. Is that okay? All right, thanks.
I'm so confused when I hear Councilmember Peterson.
I know.
Yeah.
So I'll change my name to Brown. Keep the tradition going.
All right, so we're moving on to item 5, which is oral communications from members of the public. These will be communications brought to us by anything that is not on the agenda tonight. Is there anybody in the public that would like to speak? Seeing no one here. Anybody online?
We don't currently have any public speakers on Zoom.
Okay, wonderful. So then that takes us to item 6, which is staff or city comments. Do we want to start with staff? Any staff members have comments?
Thank you, Mayor Kaiser. I would like to just make a brief comment to really take a moment to thank our council members. I know everyone has said so many kind words, but it really has been a pleasure to work with them, Mayor Story and Councilmember Bertrand, all of these years. I've learned a lot from both of them. I'd also like to acknowledge and thank all the candidates, everyone's interest in the city of Capitola, the willingness to step up and serve. It was a very close race, as we heard, and it was really neat to see new leaders step up and offer their services to the city of Capitola. I want to congratulate the winners in the election. It was a tough campaign, and you obviously did something right, so congratulations. And lastly, to the full council, from all of us, the staff, we're really looking forward to working together for the next 2 years with this council. It's going to be fun, it's going to be exciting, and I think we're going to be able to do great things for the city of Capitola.
Thank you. Any council members have any comments?
Have a brief comment.
Sure.
So I'll be brief as well, but I also want to thank Councilmember Bertrand and outgoing Mayor Story for all of your years of service. Councilmember Bertrand, I had the privilege of being the vice mayor when you were the mayor, and it was really an honor to sit on the Finance Advisory Committee with you. We sat on RTC together for a couple years, and I found you to be such a thoughtful and insightful leader. And I know that all the way from your time as an activist in San Francisco up into your work at this very dais tonight, you have been such a leader in our community, and I'm grateful for your service. And then Mayor Story, thank you so much for being such an example of leadership in our city. When I first ran in 2016, I remember coming to your home and sitting at your kitchen table or in your kitchen and asking you what you thought about the idea of me running. And I think one of your daughters said it best, that you're so eloquent and gracious, and you have a sense of calm about you when you speak that almost makes me feel like I'm like buzzing because I have so much to say and I just want to get it out, and then you're just very, yes, that's a great idea. I think that would be wonderful. And it reminds me to slow down. But one of the things you told me that really stuck with me is you asked why I wanted to run. And I don't know if you remember, I said, well, I want to run to be the voice of the people, and what you told me was the voice of the people is not always, the voice of the people is quite often divided. And what was I going to do when that happened? And that was one of the most important pieces of advice that I got moving into my very first campaign, and it's something that I pass on to others when they tell me that they want to run, or when I talk to other people about potentially being in a position of leadership, is that the voices of the community you want to serve will not always be united, and then that's when it's going to be difficult but worth it. And so thank you so much for that advice. Okay, with that being said, the other thing that I wanted to share this evening is just that we got an email of compliments to our law enforcement. Apparently there was a situation, potentially threatening domestic dispute, and we got an email from someone who witnessed it talking about how great our police that arrived on the scene had handled that situation. And so I just want to take a moment to acknowledge that, and again thank our law enforcement officers for all of the great work they do in our community.
Wonderful. Thank you. Any other council comments? Yeah.
I would like to take this opportunity to say a very early happy birthday to our city manager, Jamie. We have not forgotten it's your 25th birthday, and I wanted to wish you a very happy birthday. And also, I would like to, again, acknowledge the outgoing council members and the community for participating in this election cycle. Participating in government is no easy task, and what you see before you this evening is a group that I trust is going to do an exceptional job with the work to come, and I'm really honored to be sitting with all of you. So thank you so much.
Great. Okay, wonderful. Thanks, everybody. Yeah, I'll just follow that up to just touch on Jacques and Sam's exit. I had to run a really strange campaign during COVID, and so it really kind of mixed it up for me, but it was really nice to be able to have people on the council that were still receptive even in such a strange time. Things were super uncertain, everything was still remote, but I still was able to make connections with Jacques and Sam and be sort of informed and, as Kristen said, put at ease as well. Sam's demeanor is very comforting, especially in a time where, like, somebody like me who had no idea what I was getting myself into. So I just want to say thank you both. You've both done so much here for the community, and yeah, we've got big shoes to fill, but looking forward to it. So thanks again, guys. And also, I drove down Claire's today, and it was an amazing experience. And so I just want to say thank you to Public Works and everybody that's been involved with that project. It's been a long time coming, and just seeing it come to fruition is like, yes, we're doing it, and it feels so good. So thank you so much. And I think that's all that I had up there. All right, so we can go on to item 7, which will be the consent items. So they're all enacted in one motion. They are listed below, A through D. Do we have any comments, or does anybody want to say anything on consent? Anybody online? Nobody's on there?
Give it a second.
Okay.
Remember the public, that as of right now, there are no public speakers and no hands raised.
Great. Okay. Well, we can move on to any comments or motions for consent items.
I'll move consent.
I'll second. Great. We have movement and a second on the consent. Can we also have a roll call, please?
Councilmember Peterson?
Aye.
Councilmember Rowe?
Aye.
Councilmember Clark?
Aye.
Vice Mayor Brown?
Aye.
And Mayor Kaiser?
Aye. All right, passes unanimously. We will move on to item 8, general government. And 8A will be the 2023 council meeting schedule. Our recommended action here is to adopt the regular meeting schedule for 2023. Do we have?
Just going to do me in 1 second.
Take your time. Thank you.
Good evening, for the first time as mayor and city council members. Tonight for your consideration is the proposed 2023 regular city council meeting calendar. As a reminder, this meeting calendar is presented annually to the council for adoption. The small difference this year is that staff is presenting an option to change the meeting time to an earlier time. So instead of meeting at 7 p.m., we propose an option where we can meet at 6 p.m. Taking into account that our other local agencies in the area, with the city of Santa Cruz, the county board of supervisors, city of Watsonville, city of South Valley, do tend to meet earlier, we propose this option, taking into account that this might increase staff productivity by allowing less of a long workday for staff members who work the meetings. Increase council productivity, because we take into account that you guys are also working, and this option allows a shorter day for you as well. And then an increase in public participation because of the hybrid meeting format. Members of the public can now join directly, they don't have to drive from a different area, so it allows for increased public participation. Some cons that we did take into consideration with this proposed time change is that there may be work conflicts for council members if they tend to work past 5:30, and then potential conflicts for closed session when they are scheduled. If the closed session was to be scheduled, staff would make sure to coordinate that way and notify the city council in advance to avoid any potential conflicts. Within the staff report for this item, there were two proposed options for the 2023 calendar. Option A includes the usual 2 meetings per month on the second and fourth Thursday of each month. This option includes 1 July and 1 August meeting, giving a break between those 2 meetings. As is typical, there is only 1 meeting in December, and there is a meeting that is moved to a Tuesday in November to accommodate Thanksgiving. Option B, that was presented in the staff report, includes no July meetings, which allows for a break in July, and then there are 2 August meetings. It also incorporates the Tuesday November meeting and 1 December meeting. The recommended action for this item is that staff review and adopt the regular meeting schedule and approve a start time for the regular meeting schedule for 2023. Available for any questions.
Thank you. Any questions from council? Seeing none, we can go out to anybody from the public. Online?
No public speakers raising their hand.
Great. Any council comments?
I would just say it's the role of the council. I think for the last 4 years, we've began at 7. And I'm just thinking about if staff can work with us on the closed session piece, because sometimes it's exactly at 5, which is hard for I think those who are working, and hard for myself. So I'd be open to switching it. I just think that we just have to be mindful of the closed session piece. And for council, that's just what that probably would look like. I'm guessing the staff could help with that is additional meetings. So those would be probably, closed session probably be held on additional days, and I'm not sure if that's something council would be interested in doing.
I'm also curious in hearing about the potential for a closed session after the meeting.
That's, yeah.
So that would be an option. I think probably we've been having closed sessions, I'd say, about half the time on council meetings, and so it seems as if maybe we had a half-hour closed session, we could start at 5:30. If we needed more time for that, I think staff could check in with council members, see if a 5 o'clock or 4:30 start would work. If not, we could look at the overall agenda, work with the mayor, see if we could do it at the end of the night. If all else failed, then we could talk about a special meeting to the closed session. So I think it's worth considering the 6 o'clock start, and then we just need to see how it goes. And, do keep in mind that if we get through 3 months and it's just not working, we can re-adopt and move a regular meeting schedule if we needed to. So my suggestion is that I think it's an idea worth trying, unless somebody is really, just from a work schedule standpoint, couldn't ever do anything before 5:30.
I'm all for it. personally.
Don't mind.
Okay.
What, the 6th or the 7th?
I'm all for at least trying the 6 o'clock. It's been something that I've been interested in a while. If everybody is, or most people are okay with that, does anybody have any thoughts on the option A or B of the dates?
I would just be interested in getting the rest of the council's input on the times, just because I know that some of you can get them. So,
Yeah.
Councilmember Brown, does 6 or 6:30 work better for you?
I can make either work, but I think it is important that we do this on trial, essentially.
Mm-hmm.
And then if it doesn't work, that we can go back. I'm not opposed, but I do have concerns about the closed session part of it, about closed session starting at 4:30 or right at 5, or having to essentially start, putting out doodle polls and whatnot about, well, when can we all get together for a closed session? And that concerns me a bit. But I'm okay with trying it at 6.
Okay.
Yeah, and I'm flexible. I'm happy
Right.
with whatever works for everybody else.
Okay.
For the meeting option, I don't know. I mean, I guess I don't have a huge preference on having an entire month off or having the 2 months with 1 meeting each. I'm kind of used to the 2 months with 1 meeting each, and it kind of feels like you're getting 2 short weeks or 2 short, 2 extended vacations. I don't know how to describe it, so I'm okay with keeping it how it is, but that's just my thoughts on that.
Is it how it is, that option A?
Yes, yeah,
I would prefer it also.
yeah.
Okay.
I don't have any preference.
Okay.
Okay, so I'd like to make a motion to move city council meetings to 6 p.m. on a trial basis and to adopt option A for the 2023 City of Capitola City Council regular meeting date.
Second.
Great, thank you. We have a motion and a second. May we please have a roll call?
Councilmember Peterson,
Aye.
Councilmember Brooks,
Aye.
Councilmember Clark, Vice Mayor Brown,
Aye.
and Mayor Higgins.
Aye, passes unanimously. Thank you. That can take us to 8B, which is the city council appointments to city advisory bodies. So our recommended action here is to appoint city council representatives to county and regional boards with early January meetings, appoint city council representatives to city advisory bodies, and appoint members of the public to the City of Capitola Planning Commission.
So then this is going to be one for me. As we move through this presentation, I am going to take breaks to pause so we can allow time for deliberation and a vote on each individual action that's recommended on the screen. But as you outlined, staff recommends that the City Council review and update the appointments of the county multi jurisdiction boards and commissions, review and update the City Council representatives on the advisory bodies, and then make appointments or review appointments to the commission. As a brief overview, the City of Capitola is represented on various multi-jurisdictional advisory bodies within the area by members of the City Council. These boards and committees are established by other codes or bylaws. On the screen is the current status of all of the boards and commissions within the area with the representative and alternate appointments and the next meeting date. The chart is listed by meeting date, so it's organized in terms of the highest priority ones that need to be made. You'll see that there are 4 of them that are highlighted within the red text box. If you need or would like additional information on each of the groups, myself or the city manager can provide a brief overview. But the 4 groups that we recommend for appointment this evening that will be meeting between now and the next regular city council meeting are the Flood Control and Water Conservation District, the Central Coast Clean Energy Policy Board, AMBAG, and the Regional Transportation Commission. Something to note is that for the 3CE Energy Policy Board, the City Council will be making a nomination, and then the nomination will be approved by the Santa Cruz the mayoral appointment committee.
City selection.
City selection committee. So this is the point where we would pause and deliberate. Action for this item.
Okay. So, I guess, do we have anybody that would like to be on the Flood Control and Water Conservation District Zone 5? You're the alternate.
No one's jumping up at that one? All right, I'll do that.
Okay. So we can move,
When are they meeting?
Oh,
Oh, wait, they're meeting next week? All right.
They require a primary representative and an alternate representative.
I'd love to be the alternate.
thank you.
I might be absent next week, so.
Just talk to Jacques, he can fill you in.
Okay.
Do we have to
vote
vote
on
on each?
My suggestion would be maybe we could, Julie, do you think you could fill in names as we go, and then they could vote on the whole sort of slate?
Okay, that'd be great.
The next group would be the Central Coast Clean Energy Policy Board. There is a nomination, so the council would nominate a primary and alternate member.
One detail I might note on this one is that generally, under the bylaws, this position is a shared seat between Capitola and Scotts Valley. We went through a cycle where we served for 2 years, and then Scotts Valley served for 2 years, and then they could get another 3-year term as representatives. I've been in communication with the Scotts Valley City Manager, and we've concluded that it's a little bit of it's discombobulating, I think, for that and organization to have the membership switch so much. So Scotts Valley has said that they're prepared to step away from the term this year to maintain more continuity on the board.
I'd like to keep my seat on Central Coast Clean Energy Policy Board.
I can, be an alternate, fine.
Going along, right now, one of the group right now, and their next meeting is going to be.
I've enjoyed my time on AMBAG. I would be happy to remain in that seat if that's, okay with the will of the council. You're my alternate.
Yes,
You still want to be there?
yes, I can do, yes. I think,
You ready for the next one?
yeah.
Okay.
I'm interested in
Yes.
serving Lake Hills Transportation Commission.
And I would love to be the alternate.
Perfect.
So this point in time, the council could continue to make appointments to the following 4 remaining multi-jurisdictional agency groups, but we could also make these appointments at the following city council meeting, because as we see on the chart, the next meeting date for each of these is going to be after January 12th. So it is, your decision whether or not to continue making appointments, or we can move those to the next meeting.
Wouldn't mind maybe digesting a little bit of it.
I,
Maybe make some better decisions, but.
yeah, that was kind of my vibe, yeah.
I have a question about the appointments we just made.
Sure.
The Flood Control and Water Conservation District, because they're meeting next week, is the city going to inform them that I'm the new rep and they'll reach out to me, or do I need to proactively reach out to someone and tell them I'm coming?
So I will communicate to the clerk of the board for each of these groups that appointments have been made, and they will, be in contact with you to provide you with agenda materials for those meetings.
Looking forward to it. Thank you.
Okay, I think, it sounds like we'd like to vote on these 4 and then get back to the later dated ones next meeting. Give everybody a moment to settle in.
In that case, we need a motion and a second on the currently,
And talk to the public first.
oh, right.
Yeah. If there's anybody out there. Seeing none. And online,
Or no hand raised for public comment.
great. Would anybody like to make a motion?
I'll move to amend the positions.
Yeah.
I'll second that.
David, a roll call.
Councilmember Peterson?
Aye.
Councilmember Brooks,
Aye.
Councilmember Clark,
Aye.
Vice Mayor Brown,
Aye.
and Mayor Kaiser.
Aye. Thank you.
Moving on to the next item of action. So the city maintains advisory bodies that provide, they assist in advising fundraising different types of things for the city. And parts of those groups sometimes have council representation. So appointments are made depending on bylaws or municipal code for each of these groups. But we have 3 of them that require review at tonight's meeting. Staff recommends making appointments to 3 advisory bodies listed below: the Finance Advisory Committee, Commission on the Environment, and Arts and Cultural Commission. Something to note is the Finance Advisory Committee bylaws stipulate that the mayor and vice mayor will serve as council representatives, though when either or both do not wish to serve as a representative on this committee, other members shall be appointed by the mayor with the concurrence of the city council. So something to bear in mind.
You're gonna stay on finance advisory?
Oh, I know you want to stay on.
I'm happy to stay on.
Okay.
I like it.
Do you want to be on it, or?
I'm happy to, but if you want to keep yours, then I
I'm-
can mix that.
I'm impartial, so.
I don't
Okay.
feel super strongly either way either.
So are you,
I
like,
can give
Alexander
my-
becomes
I
your
could-
representative?
Well, yeah, or I would, yeah, give my spot to
So
Alexander.
the mayor's supposed to have.
Yeah, I'm fine doing that. Yeah,
Then I'll go too.
okay. So Kristen and Alexander.
When's the next one, the 20th?
The following group is the Commission on the Environment, and this one has 1 council position.
That's me. I'm fine staying on it, unless any other contenders.
The third group is Arts and Cultural Commission. And again, it's got 1 council member, listed as part of the composition.
Take it, I'll volunteer for it.
Great, thanks, Joe. Yeah, that was a good one. Great.
With that, staff recommends a motion to approve the appointment of the 3 board of commission, council members.
Great. We'll take any public comment on that. And anything online if there is.
There are no hands raised on Zoom.
Great, thank you.
I'd like to make a motion for the boards and commissions.
Oh, second?
Is that enough, or do we have to?
I understood the motion to be to approve the representative on the screen,
Thank you. Maybe we have a roll call.
Councilmember Peterson,
Aye.
Councilmember Brooks,
Aye.
Councilmember Clark,
Aye.
Vice Mayor Brown,
Aye.
and Mayor Kaiser.
Aye. Passes unanimously. We can go on to the third.
The third section is concerning the city's advisory bodies and appointments of members of the public to each of these bodies. There are 2 types of vacancies for these types of groups. There are unscheduled vacancies, which are occurring due to resignation, termination, or in some cases, death of the commissioner. Regular vacancies refer to terms that expire and are available for appointment or reappointment. Currently, there are a number of vacancies for these cities' advisory groups. They were listed online and posted on the city's website and social media pages. Staff is actively recruiting for these groups and is currently accepting applications. Applications are available through the city's website and in person at City Hall. These vacancies, only the planning commission requires an appointment by each member of the city council, so each city council member would have 1 appointment. The next planning commission meeting is going to be held on January 19th. At this time, the city council may make appointments to the planning commission. Staff recommends postponing appointments to the remaining advisory bodies until January 12th to allow additional time for members of the public to apply to the groups that are currently with vacancies. The current composition of the planning commission is listed on the screen with each member designated by their council appointment. All
all of these members have notified the city clerk that they are seeking reappointment to their positions. In addition, staff has received 4 applications for new membership to the Planning Commission, and those names are listed on the screen. The applications have been provided as a part of the agenda packet, as well as the list of members' names.
Any questions?
For this item, council members can just simply state who the planning commissioner will be, and you probably don't need to vote. So it's possible you may want to go to public comment prior to making those questions.
Great. Let's go to public comment. Seeing none?
There are no speakers raising their hand from Zoom.
Okay. Do we want to just go down the list, or?
You want to start with planning commissioner, and just start at one end?
Sure, I would like to name my planning commissioners Jerry Jensen.
And I'd like to reappoint Courtney Christensen as a planning commissioner as well as the Art and Cultural Commission representative.
I will continue my appointment of Susan Westman on the Planning Commission.
With my appointment of Peter Wilk.
I'd like to appoint Paul Estee to the Planning Commission.
Thank you.
To just confirm for the minute, Councilmember Clark would like to appoint Jerry Johnson. Councilmember Brooks will reappoint Courtney Christensen. Mayor Kaiser will be reappointing Susan Westman. Vice Mayor Brown will be reappointing Peter Wilk, and Councilmember Peterson will be appointing Paul Estee.
Great. Put on? Or no?
So these are individual appointments, so they're not ratified by the council.
Great.
With the conclusion of the 3 recommended actions listed for tonight's agenda, the remaining appointments will be presented to you for consideration on January 12th. Of the city advisory bodies that remain, the Commission on the Environment, Finance Advisory Committee, Arts and Cultural Commission, and the Fiscal Commission Board. In addition, there will be items for the multi-jurisdictional bodies that were not appointed this evening. And as there were planning commissions made tonight, we will not have any more applications for the planning commission for the next meeting. Thank you.
Great, thank you. Okay, so it looks like we have made it to item 9, which is the adjournment. Before we head out, I just want to thank the council members, and I'm nervous but super excited to be sitting here as mayor and vice mayor with Ms. Brown over here. And just after hearing everything that Jacques talked about and Sam's story on his exit, just thank you to staff and everybody. This is sort of that time of year too where you just start some reflection and looking at everybody around you, and I couldn't be more thankful to be sitting here with these people in this room right now, and it really means a lot. And I hope everybody has an awesome holiday season. Just stay safe, be kind to one another, stay healthy, please. Let's keep this under wraps. And Merry Christmas, Happy Hanukkah, Happy New Year, Kwanzaa, everybody. Thanks for being here. This meeting is adjourned. Woo! Never done that before. Yeah.